Hello there, everybody. Happy Monday. We are here, as you would know if you are a regular, we're here for the Monday reading for the week ahead. I'm going to be using the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson. And it's a beautiful tarot deck that I haven't taken off the shelf for a little while, and it's been nagging at me. So here we are today doing a reading for the week ahead with this tarot deck. All right, so if you're new here, very, very welcome. And what we do on a Monday is we look at the week ahead and see what advice I can give you. What is the general energy of this week ahead? What do we need to focus on? Is there anything we need to be aware of that we should maybe avoid? All of those kind of energies come through, and it gives us just a little bit of something to work with, so we don't go blindly into the week and we're not feeling directionless. And maybe there's some really good information, hints or tips along the way that we can use that are going to be constructive for us. All right, my existing clients and everyone who comes back to this channel every Monday, very, very welcome, and thank you again. I'm so grateful. I send out gratitude to all of you every week, because I would not be here if it was not for you. And I'm so grateful and fortunate to have you take your time to watch my readings. Okay, so let's get going. I'm going to ask, what is the general energy for this week ahead, please? Can we see what the general energy is? There we go, it just popped out. Oh, the Hanged Man. All right, the Hanged Man often talks about things being in some kind of a pause, or we feel like we're not really getting where we need to get to. We're struggling with certain things, and it's out of our hands to a large degree. And this card is a card of surrender. All right, it's a card of surrender to say, okay, I can see that either something's a bit stagnant for now, or it's not meant to happen right now, or I'm waiting for somebody else to do something. That can often be the case, but it's also a voluntary surrender to some degree, and it's an encouragement to voluntarily surrender and say, okay, the powers that be are in control of what happens now. I'm going to watch and wait and see what happens, because this is a learning experience for me. All right, so you'll see that this merman, he is stuck in the net, and he literally doesn't have anything that he can do about it. He's at the mercy of whoever's caught him in the net. They can let him go, or they can keep him, or they can, whatever, harm him. But he's trusting that spirit will look after him. He's trusting, and he's saying, you know what, whatever's meant to be will be. I take my hands off it. And that's the energy that this encourages, is to realize that a lot of the time, if we are in a place where we're not seeing progress with something, or we feel like we're stuck, or we are at the mercy of others, what we're encouraged to do is to say, okay, there must be a method to the madness. There must be something else going on that maybe I don't see right now, that I need to have my faith that everything will be okay in the situation. And it's a time of enlightenment. It's a time of changing your perspective. He's looking at things upside down. If he was facing the right way around, he'd be able to maybe assess his environment a little bit better, but he finds himself upside down. All right, it feels like our world has been turned upside down in some cases, but it's often to change our perspective. It's often to bring some kind of epiphany or enlightenment or realization about something. And it's often a spiritual experience. So we get put into this limbo deliberately, because we have to just hang there. And when we can't do anything physically, we're often left with our own thoughts. And some people might really detest the thought of that, but it's often exactly what brings that enlightenment, exactly what brings that idea or that epiphany. Even for myself over the holidays, I don't often take much time off. And I decided that I would take time off for December, because I need to rest and recharge. Otherwise, I can't do a good job for you guys. And during that time, I actually had time to stop and think about my own stuff, and where I can grow, and what I need to do, and what's new that I need to bring into the year that can be constructive, or something that can, benefit my family and benefit my clients. I had all these new great ideas, and it wouldn't have happened if I just didn't take that time out, if I wasn't almost forced to take that time out, because I had some time to sit. Because I went for an operation as well, so I had no choice but to sit still and to think and ponder over things, and it was the best thing ever. And I felt bound, I felt restricted, I felt like my world had been turned upside down. What do I do now? I feel incapacitated. That's not in my nature. Okay, I like to be doing things and feeling constructive, but it was very necessary and it was a very good thing. So don't always think that the Hanged Man is necessarily something bad. It's a card of enlightenment, and it's a card where it's saying, don't worry, Spirit's got this. Take your hands off it. You don't have to try and control the situation. You don't try and have to force a resolution. Take your hands off it. Hang out. It'll sort itself out. And you'll probably see some new things and fresh energy coming in, as opposed to what your preconceived ideas might be about this. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to know about this, please? I'm going to ask for 3 cards. Okay, now I'm not going to take that many. That's about 6. Let's ask nicely if we can start again, please. These cards are very slippery, so I often get huge bunches of them popping out. Okay, what else goes with this Hanged Man energy, please, for this week? I'll just bend that. Okay. Let's just see what pops out. Okay, I'll fix it all up now. I'm just having a look at what we're dealing with here. All right, my OCD will kick in, don't worry, and I'll straighten them out. All right. Here we go. I hope you can see them all nicely. So I got the bottom of the deck as the 10 of Wands, and I'll touch on that in a minute. There you can see them a bit better. And 10 of Wands is going to go at the top. This is one and the same kind of situation here. I think this is all talking about the same situation, why we feel stuck, what we're struggling with here. 2 of Cups talks about a relationship or partnership. This can be a romantic relationship. This can be a business relationship. It can be a best friend. We can go through the myriad of different options of what 2 of Cups can signify. And it's about being kind of halfway there in terms of a situation, and then feeling like there's a pause in the progress, and then we move on. So the Hanged Man makes a lot of sense, and obviously this is telling us more about the Hanged Man energy. So I feel like this is in a connection that you have, a potential connection as well, or someone that you feel like you really had a lot of rapport with, and you're on the same page to a large degree, and there's something that wants to, you know, move forward. But I feel like there might be a battle of wills, or again, the Hanged Man can often say that we are waiting for someone else to do something. All right, so it can sometimes mean that you're actually supposed to be pulling your energies together, but there could be conflicting opinions here, or somebody says, oh well, I've got to deal with this first, so let's wait with that, and you're frustrated because you have to wait, or you feel like you were making such good progress and now there's a bump in the road. All right, because the 5 of Wands can really talk about us having internal struggles about things. It can also talk about us having external struggles, and that there's maybe a lack of leadership. So when you see these guys all coming together, that's what needs to happen to focus that energy. Do you see how they concentrate their energy together to direct their energy? And I feel like there's the potential for this, but there's something that is pausing this progress for some reason. There's so much potential here. These are cards of potentiality, okay? Especially the 2 of Wands. This is about expansion, potential, new ideas, planning, constructing, wanting to move forward. And it's all about thoughts and ideas. So it would be like there's a thought, an idea, or something that you want to work towards, and there seems to be a bump in the road. Even if it's not you and someone else necessarily disagreeing, it could be an external factor that's causing you to have to hold on. It's causing it not to move as fast as we would like it to. All right, but I think this pause in progress is not something that's going to be long term. All right, and this is something quite significant. The 10 of Wands talks about a major move or a change from one thing to another, and it's about carrying a bit of a burden. Okay, so it could even be perhaps one of you have got to take care of something that is related to family, and it's a pause because now somebody's ill, or there's some kind of family duty that you need to take care of first, so this is on hold. or it could be anything, you know, a work project, whatever that's kind of stopped this, or you were going to travel and you can't travel right now, something along these lines where there's been this pause, and it's frustrating and it causes this inner conflict. It causes maybe outer conflict. As also, we're coming out of this energy of that full moon we had last week that was Cancerian moon, which is all emotions, and it's the moon. So on top of the existing emotions, we have this Cancerian energy, and luckily we're moving now into the next phase, into the Aquarius energy. Not exactly less emotional, but you know, the moon on top of moon energy like Cancerian is pretty intense. So it is these inner conflicts. It can also then cause outer conflicts because we're coming from a very emotional place. All right, so we can sometimes have a bit of an outburst or whatever the case is. Maybe that's something that's necessary, maybe something needed to be said. But then I feel like, okay, even though there's this kind of energy, we then move into the Two of Wands energy. And again, there's a number 2. Okay, so it's very likely that it's 2 people involved here, or 2 entities of some sort, maybe 2 businesses that want to merge. You know, it can come in so many different ways. But the Two of Wands is that energy of being optimistic, seeing that potential for expansion and seeing things from a distance. If you look at this guy, actually, there's this volcano erupting in the distance. I feel as if this is almost as if you didn't if you didn't have this Hanged Man energy, and you weren't put into this pause that you didn't necessarily have any control over, I think that something could have gone wrong. And now you're looking at this thing that's gone wrong from a distance, and you're thinking, oh, I'm fortunate that this was not happening, and that I kind of dodged this bullet in some way. All right, so it's when we see this energy, this is keeping us from something that could be to our detriment. And it's as if you've seen it from a distance now, and you're like, oh, I could have been on the top of that mountain, but then the volcano would have exploded, and then what would have happened? Now I can see it from a distance. And this guy is still curious. He wants to go see what's there, but he's also being cautious in some way and kind of checking it out. So it's like we need to maybe slow down so that we can plan better. We can have a different plan to what we had, or we can tweak it a little bit and listen to the opinion of somebody else, or let someone take the lead in this situation, because the Five of Wands often shows there's a lack of leadership and like a conflict of interest, or somebody trying to take the lead role and then the other person's also wanting to take the lead. Maybe there's needs to be some honesty in who's best for the job, perhaps, and then move forward. And I don't think that this is going to be completely established or completely sorted out, the situation, but you'll pass the halfway mark, which is what this is talking about. Okay, so Two of Wands literally says the world is your oyster. Now there's potential. Now you've got all the facts. You found out, oh, this was actually going to happen, and luckily I'm from a distance, and maybe I can change my plan now. Maybe I can take a different route. So it's like wanting something good to happen, hoping it's going to happen. And it's very much usually focused around the working environment, or how we direct our energy to improve ourselves, to improve our circumstances. This is like the goal here. All right. And it's just had some niggly, difficult energy. And then it's followed by the Death card. And the Death card is a symbolic death of something. Okay. Whatever that needs to be. Maybe it's a bad habit that you've got. Maybe it's the fact that you don't really open yourself up to the opinions of others or new ideas coming through. Maybe it's, in some cases, it could be a relationship or something that needs to end. I'm not really picking up on that, though, because of this Two of Cups energy. This is like a bad habit or a recurring pattern that is not necessarily healthy. And it's Spirit helping us to get over that. This is Spirit giving you a push as well. So the presence of Spirit here is huge. We've got 2 major arcanas. We've got the Hanged Man, we've got the Death card. And this is saying to us that Spirit has a part to play here. Spirit's the one that put you in the net and said, hold on. Spirit's the one who's saying, okay, there's going to be a symbolic death here. But this automatically brings a rebirth. You can see these people actually saving these ocean animals. Let me show you a bit better here. They're actually saving these animals. So although there is death around them, they're able to save some of them, and they're going to be rescuing them from what is looking like a terrible situation. And the death card is rebirth. It's about things changing completely. And yes, sometimes it means that certain things in our lives are made obsolete, or they're cut back and, taken from us, so to speak. But this card ultimately says they're going to be new beginnings. You're going to rise like a phoenix from the ashes, and you're going to start again. Okay, so it's like this pattern or whatever it is that's not necessarily good for you, that causes this volcano, is going to cause you to take a different path, and that different path is going to be the best way forward for you. The 10 of Wands also shows a closure of something. Okay, it's a number 10. The 10 of Wands is about carrying a heavy burden or having to really meet practical difficulties. It may be very tedious and hard to work through this energy, but you need to do it, and you need to eliminate certain things. And if you need to go and do that thing and go to that office and submit those papers and follow the whole process of this difficult thing, it's encouraging you to do that. And it's saying you're going to have to take this huge heavy pile of sticks, but you will eventually be able to put it down. And I feel like some of this is emotional as well. It's like, put the bag of sticks down, do what you got to do, go through the motions of whatever action you need to take, whatever healing needs to happen. Embrace it, accept the symbolic death in whatever way it comes into your life, because this is what's going to bring that change for you. This is what's going to allow you to put down the 10 of Wands. Okay, and a 10 and a 1 is the same. So the 10 of Wands is also showing a fresh new beginning, a fresh new start. So it feels like this is a bump in the road, and you're waiting for something to happen or for somebody to do something, and it feels like it's out of your hands. And that can be a very frustrating energy for us. We don't like to feel like we're not in control of things or of ourselves or of our lives. But know that Spirit's in control, and that's actually better hands for things to be in than our own at times, because they know what's best for us. Okay, I think take things step by step. This is what it's saying. Only do what you need to do. Only do what's required. And also, if you're uncertain about something, then don't do it. This is what this energy is talking about here. This is like negotiation or trying to sort things out. If you don't agree on something, maybe you need to speak about it more, but you need to speak about it in an amicable way. If your partner or the person that you're dealing with, or the other group of people you're dealing with, have got the potential to move you forward, or have got good ideas, or have more experience than you do, maybe you need to have some humility and say, you know what, you are the best person for the job. When something comes along that is my expertise or that I'm good at doing, then I will do that. And that's where this leadership comes in. It's like a tug of war, almost like someone trying to prove something to someone else or trying to outdo each other. And that's not going to be constructive. Okay? Let somebody else take the lead, or wait for that person to make their decision, and just know that everything will be okay. All right? And if something's going to end, don't try to fight it. This death is going to bring rebirth. This is what's going to help you to put down the heavy load. Okay, so I hope that will help you and make sense to you, and I wish you a wonderful week further. Please take care of yourself, take it easy, and remember, the powers that be know what they're doing. All right, chat to you again soon. Have a wonderful week. Lots of love.